real quick, man. It's getting late. I'm fucking shot. All right, so I'm just make believe no one knows what the fuck they're doing here. I'm just explain it again. So you have 3 cycles here. You have your oil cooling cycle, and it's all selectable here. Your oil cooling cycle, your steam cycle, your refrigeration cycle. Those are the only 3 things that you have to know. Okay? And then you just break them down. We'll start with the compressor. Your compressor's right here. I can't highlight it because it won't fucking let me as usual. Piece of shit. There you go. So there's your compressor. There's your discharge line. Discharge line back there. Discharge line goes into your condenser. Here's your condenser. Comes into the condenser. Comes out your liquid line. Through your orifice plate. Out your low side liquid line.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Back in the evaporator. Out your suction line.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your refrigeration cycle.
Nice.
Okay?
What's that little box right there over the compressor? That looks like it's highlighted. Yeah, that one.
That's the vein gain?
That's your guide vane.
Guide vein.
Guide vane actuator.
Guide vein actuator. Mm-hmm.
Okay? We'll hide that too. Right. That's site class.
Yeah.
The other site class should still be in the back of the condenser. There it is. Snipe. Okay. These are your water boxes right here. I can't click them actually, should I? Hold on. Well, let me click them. But anyway, fucking these are your water boxes right here. Well, let me. Oh, there you go. There's a water box, plate, water box, plate. You want to tie this or what? There you go. All right, so that's your whole entire refrigeration cycle. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then it's the same thing as a recip. You got a high side and a low side. The high side starts at the compressor. Here it's a little different because it's a centrifugal. So your low side is at your suction line, goes through the guide vanes, and then after it passes the guide vanes is where it changes from high to low. So now the motor's spinning, and it's throwing with centrifugal force the refrigerant against the wall. And that's pressurizing the refrigerant. Okay, and then the other side would be your orifice plate. Your orifice plate changes it from a high pressure to a low pressure.
Low pressure. Mm-hmm.
Right, okay? So we got that. So let's see if I keep everything going and lets me fuck with steam. And of course not. I hate this shit, man. The old way was so much better. Nope, won't let me do it. Alright, we'll just start fresh again. Let's see, oil, steam. Okay. All right, so you get your steam coming in. Here's your steam gauge. On the test, on this steam gauge right here, there's going to be a transducer sticking out, so just keep that in mind. On Metrotech, there's transducers everywhere. This gauge has a transducer sticking out of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is your, come on. That's steam coming in. There's your
Turbine.
steam isolation valve.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be your bypass right here. There's your governor valve right there. There's a trip valve right there. Then it'd go through the turbine. I just hit the turbine already, but turbine's gone. Then if the steam goes out your exhaust, there's your vibration plate. There's a sentinel valve on the side of the. You see that right there? That's your sentinel valve.
Mm-hmm.
On Metrotech test, that valve is going to be right here.
What valve is that?
The sentinel valve.
Sentinel. Okay.
So that sentinel valve, okay, we have it on our simulator, but on Metrotech test, it's not there. It's going to be right here. And it's the same color as a turbine. So you got to zoom in and click around. And so if you zoom in, you'll see it. It's kind of outlined, but it's the same color as the turbine. So just keep that in mind. So you got that. You got your vibration plate. You got your exhaust. Your exhaust goes to, what's this called again, guys?
Surface condenser.
Surface condenser.
Surface condenser.
Right, okay. On top of your surface condenser, there's a pipe. What pipe is that?
That's the
Atmospheric release.
No, you see this line right here that I'm pointing to?
Vapor.
Right, that's your vapor line, your vapor header. That vapor header goes to your vacuum pumps. That's pulling the vapor, non-condensables, out of the surface condenser, and it's pulling it down to vacuum pump 1 and vacuum pump 2. So we're going to hide that line right there. Okay? And then you got this from the vapor header to vacuum pump 1. There's another one here. Vacuum pump 2. Okay? What's this right here on the bottom? What's that?
Hot well.
That's your hot well. What's inside the hot well?
Condensation, right?
Yeah, where does the condensation come from? How does it condense?
It condense for the surface condenser, right? It's coming.
Right, but that's easy. I want you to explain this to me. So the steam's coming in through the exhaust, right? And then how is that steam condensing inside the surface condenser? What's causing it to condense?
Vacuum?
Kind of. But what's really causing it to condense?
the steam, right?
The condenser itself, the coils.
That's it. So inside these
The
pipes,
coils,
yeah, inside these pipes right here, you have cooling water from the towers, right? The cooling water from the cooling towers, okay, that water's coming back down, and it's going into your condenser, right? That's condenser water, and it's making one pass, and it's making another pass. And then from there, it comes up this pipe right here. See that pipe right there? That same water that's in this line goes through the condenser, goes here, and then comes up here, and then that water is going through these pipes. And then it returns to the tower this way, out here. So your steam is coming through the steam exhaust, and that steam is hitting these pipes, and the steam condenses, and then that steam is collected inside the hot well. You understand?
Okay.
All right, I'm just breaking it down there so you understand it. You know, if you don't understand, you guys got to speak up, because I'm just assuming when I don't hear nothing, I'm assuming you understand it.
You're doing great, Dan.
Okay, so the hot well, yeah, Dan, you're doing good. So the hot well is going to be collecting that steam that's condensed, so now it's liquid. Right?
It's not collecting steam. It's condensing. It's collecting condensate. You understand? I'm going to show you again. Without that there. Hold on. Okay. So again, you got your turbine exhaust pipe right here. That turbine exhaust has steam in it. That steam comes into the shell, and that steam hits those pipes with the cooling water in it. Okay? when the steam hits the cooling water, it starts to condense. Okay? What helps the steam draw this way is that it is under a vacuum. That's what the vacuum pump's for. The vacuum pumps are pulling. Okay? So the steam comes in here, it condenses, it goes to your hot well. You have to maintain water in the hot well because that water actually creates a seal. It's a sealing effect. It's like a vacuum ring seal that you have on your vacuum pumps. You also have a hot well seal. It's in the PDFs that I sent you guys. If you read the PDFs, you can read about this and you'll understand it better than me. All right? But that's pretty much your steam cycle, man. Your steam cycle starts on the header and it ends at the hot well. It ends right here. And then these two valves right here determine what stays in the surface condenser and what stays in the hot well. This valve right here is your recirculation valve. That's your recirculation valve. And this is your overboard valve. On our simulator, they open and close based on this sight class right here. Not the hot well, but that's that. Okay, this has a magnetic sensor in it. But on Metrotech, they don't use that. On Metrotech, there's a high float and a low float. So when you have a low float and your low float goes off, okay, you got to continue to circulate. The circulation valves are to stay on. When you have a high float, that means there's too much water in the surface condenser in the hot well. This valve closes, and the overboard valve opens, and it dumps the excess down a drain. We don't have a drain here, but this goes back to the boiler, and that's used as makeup water for the boiler. We actually have a boiler in this room. See the black back there?
What's the function of the pumps? Of those pumps right there?
To keep everything circulating.
Okay.
Because no matter what, if your overboard opens, we just went over this before. That's what I was tracing out earlier, just like to make sure. Yeah. So your condensate from the hot well, it comes in right here. You see the hot well?
Yeah.
That's on the bottom of the hot well. Okay? These pumps pull through the pump. It comes out, this is the condensate pump header right here, suction, and this is your condensate pump discharge.
Okay.
And then when it discharges, it will either go this way to the recirculation valve.
Got it.
And dump the water back in, or this valve will close, and then instead of going that way, it goes this way, and the overboard valve is open. And then it dumps back to the boiler as makeup water to the boiler. Return condensate.
So the job of those two valves is to keep the hot well full with condensate. You can't have that condensate start coming up into the surface condenser, right? Because now you can't condense because there's condensate in there.
Correct.
So those valves keep that level.
It would have nowhere to go.
Right.
If you didn't throw it out, this whole fucking thing would sort of fill up with water.
And flood.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it would have nowhere to go.
That's why that overboard valve, if the level gets too high, then it starts dumping water out of the surface condenser so that it's at only the hot well level. If it gets too low, then the hot well's not filled anymore, so it's got to bypass the water.
Correct. Yes, that's exactly it. That's it.
So those two valves work opposite. When one's opening, the other one's closed.
Correct.
And vice versa.
Yeah. They both can't be open at the same time. Either one's open and one's closed, or one's open and one's closed. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're never going to be closed together. They're never going to be open together. You're either recirculating or you're dumping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's...
Now you said on the Metrotech test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said on Metrotech test it's going to be a low side switch and a high side float, right? Instead of the sight glass. So instead of
Hold on, I'll do one better for you. Hold on. Just give me a second because I got to find it. Give me 1 second here. Where is this thing?
Yeah, because they got a hot side switch in the cooling tower.
Not on their cooling tower.
So, oh, not on their tower. They don't.
Nah.
I know we see it on this simulator.
Yeah. We have it on this simulator, but on Metrotex, not so. Damn, what is this thing, dude? I fucking just had it. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I had to get this more organized. What the fuck is this? I have way too much stuff, man.
Beautiful background.
Oh, you can see my background?
Yeah.
You can see Neo? Yeah, baby. That's my man right there. Yeah, I don't believe I don't have this, man. Where the fuck did it go? I gotta download this fucking thing again, man. Shit. Does anyone have the Metrotech PDF with all the things on it?
I don't.
Like the diagrams?
No, I don't.
About the same diagram that be in the
It's probably in the chart though, right?
Yeah, but like there's a picture of the high float, low float. I just want to show them what it looks like, and I can't find it. I had it. I gotta re-download that fucking print, man. I'll do that.
Why don't
tonight.
you continue? I'll get it. I have it. Why don't you just continue and I'll put it in the WhatsApp chat.
Yeah.